Hey, hey,
Hey,
are we
hey.
live?
Yes, yes. Happy Thursday.
Absolutely.
Hey,
Happy
girl.
Thursday. Welcome to another episode of Let's Get It Together with
Let's get it
Jnine.
together. And Jezzi, let's get it together on this Thursday.
That's right. That is the motto, honey. Um, everything good?
Yeah, enjoying the heat. I don't know. I
Yeah.
think Sac is running neck and neck with Vegas.
Yeah, I find that to be very true. It's funny. We are now about to embark upon September. We are leaving
Yes.
out. We are leaving, hot girl summer, and we coming into alter your behavior autumn.
Alter your behavior, Autumn. How appropriate.
Because autumn tends to be that time to really get your life together, or at
Yep.
least try to gather in as much seeds as you can so that you can start preparing for the next season of harvest. So as we leave August and Leo season with all these over dramatic, boldly presented Leos, we're going to be
Yes.
entering into a Virgo season. And so it's just time to really take care of yourself. It's time to
Yep.
really eat good. It's time to exercise. And it's really time to clear your mind and to get some good rest. That's my motto for entering into this new season.
Okay.
You know,
Okay. Virgo
and
season, Virgo is the a sign of beauty. They're a human sign. I also know that coming into this season, this also is a season of service in Virgo season, interestingly enough. We associate it with Thanksgiving in December, but Virgos are, they are to be
mm,
of service to people. That's one of their,
mhm. They're perfectionist asses. Shout out to my
mm,
cousin Kevin. His birthday is today, so he ushers that season in for us.
happy birthday, Kevin. Happy
Right?
birthday.
Oh, sounds like I might be cutting in and out. Am
Just
I
a little
sounding a
bit.
little clear? A little
You're
better? Yeah,
clear, but just a little choppy. Just a little
maybe I'm
choppy.
too close. Okay, we'll see how what's making it choppy? It might be this fan. Might be
Right.
the
Oh
fan.
yeah, I got a
Okay.
fan next to me too. Stop playing. It's hot out here,
It's hot.
right?
So I'm gonna dive right on in. We have to do our ratchet report. That is like key to the fundamentals of the show because food is my life. It has always
That's
been.
right. That's
And
right.
so I'm always going to be on the lookout to make sure that the restaurant industry, to my knowledge, is doing what they're supposed to be doing. Okay, so we're gonna start right on off with 888 Barbecue on Spring Mountain Road and Decatur Boulevard. They got 35 demerits, a C grade. They were inspected on August 10th. And it's funny
Okay.
because this time I went to the articles, and the article says before you read the rest of this section, click on the pictures for this restaurant. They're worth 1,000 words and show just how dirty this kitchen was.
Oh
I've never seen that
wow.
in my years of watching Dirty Dining and tracking it,
Right.
and I've never seen them. Please look at these pictures just so you can get an indication of how bad this place is.
Oh my.
And in my mind, I'm thinking if a place is that bad, that's worthy, that the pictures are worthy of 1,000 words,
Right.
how do you recover?
Yeah. How do you
And
recover?
you will never
I
get
don't
my
know.
business. It
Ever,
just
never.
wouldn't happen.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah. So what they found was a lot.
Ah,
It was a
when
lot.
you
I
do
mean,
that deep
so much
breath,
so
I already know it's a lot.
because it's really
Ah,
hard to digest that you guys. I don't know. Maybe they don't know that they're up for yearly inspections, or maybe somebody called and checked them in. But so many old expired canned goods, dry ingredients stored in dry containers on dirty shelves, excessive old and food debris, dirty floor, equipment, sauce containers, and food prep counters filthy. Bags of cooked pork and beef intestines in the fridge were not labeled. And usually, when they don't label, that means you're not taking care to keep track of how old it is.
mhm.
They were
Mm.
prepping raw ducks, cooling blanched ducks, and thawing frozen raw whole pigs at the side of the back of the kitchen, where they had illegally remodeled the
Oh
place.
wow. Taylor asked again, "What place is this again? Let's reiterate the name of this place because this is
A place we'd
crazy."
never go because it sounds like
Right.
it's in if it ain't hot and juicy, honey, we ain't doing Chinatown like that. But it's called 888 barbecue on Spring
888
Mountain Road.
what?
888 BBQ.
BBQ. Oh, okay.
They
Okay.
serving up filth.
They serve
Um,
just
and then if
nasty.
you looked at the pictures, they had duck or some fowl, chicken, duck,
Mm,
hanging on racks.
mm.
Like they had dipped them and skinned them and hung them up to dry. And then they had a
Okay.
whole pig that was thawing out in the middle of the floor in the kitchen. Like
Oh, that
this
sounds
isn't
terrible.
this isn't even
Oh
conceivable.
God,
This
I
isn't
can't
even
even
conceivable.
imagine. I've
Mm,
seen the hanging ducks before. That's kind of, I think, common in Asian to for them to do the hanging ducks, but not in the kitchen. And just they usually do it as a display, so you know that they have duck or something. I don't know. I've seen it before growing up in the Bay Area in Chinatown. But
okay.
the whole thawed out pig, I don't know. I can't wrap my head around that one.
So we're gonna move on because
You
the
like, I
employee
don't know
touched
what you're talking about.
the employee touched raw pork and then touched the rolling rack in the walk-in, and raw fish was stored above the pickled carrots. Raw whole pig and pork pieces were uncovered in the freezer and the fridge, touching shelving and other food. Multiple foods were stored on the freezer floor. I mean, it just went on and on. And let me just say this. So the owner, Miss Judy Yang, refused to sign the health report. See, I'd have shut her whole
Oh,
operation down, and you would have to work so hard to get that thing back.
right. I
Um,
agree.
but what she did was she hired a food and safety consultant. I'm trying to figure out what that pays and where I can find that work.
I bet,
Um,
right? Okay.
a food and safety consultant. She hired him to turn things around. So,
Okay.
good luck on that. So then second there was Lucky
Sound
House Asian Cafe on Spring Mountain. Spring Mountain doing some BS. These are all on Spring Mountain. I don't know what's happening. What's really going on? Whatever.
uh,
And it's their second time. So they're on Spring Mountain near Jones.
okay.
They're a repeat offender, and they were shut down. They failed their inspection with a demerit C grade on 19th, and they needed 10 demerits to pass, but they got 27, so they went in the wrong direction.
That's funny. She said they went in the wrong direction. All they needed was 10
So
and got 27 demerits. That's hilarious.
yeah, that's backwards. That's going backwards. So the inspector found lots of expired food, multiple containers of heavy whipping cream that were actively used, dated back to May. Whipping cream, heavy whipping cream. It's a dairy
Ugh.
product. Stop
Yeah,
playing.
that sounds like bubble
Um,
guts.
we're gonna get to that too. Large bag of cheese dated back to December 2021. Multiple packages of shoe my wrappers dated back to July 2021. I mean, these people are serving this food up until the point that the inspector shows up. Let's be clear. Two
Yeah.
tubs of raw meat were stored on the freezer floor, or you just gonna stick them in the tub and put them on the floor. Multiple items were in the temperature abused. Now, usually it's in the temperature danger zone, which means you might have
Mhm.
about 30 minutes or so before you need to put that into. You either need to reheat it and then throw it away after that, or store it. They were in the
Right.
abused temperature. That means it had been out
Oh.
too long and it was room temperature type stuff. So this was inspector saw live roach and dead roaches on the wall in the 3 compartment sink under the make table in the grills near the sanitizer. They found roach feces in several locations. Now this prompted me with my little curious mind.
What you do?
I want to know what rodent feces look like, or what is it like? How can you identify what a roach feces looks like? Like, they're little.
How do what you got a picture? I hope not.
I ain't got good sense, girl, but basically they were saying it looks like coffee grinds and pepper and shit. And I'm like, well, how come it just can't
Oh
be
my
pepper?
gosh. You're
Yeah.
right. And it might have been pepper on somebody's food. Don't play because you don't know. You don't
And the
know.
distinction is the size of the poop of the roach is directly in respect to the size of the roach. So it's like a dog. Your puppy is little,
Oh wow.
a
Okay.
German Shepherd
That's
is huge.
crazy. Right.
Anyway, the restaurant said they had just called the pest control service at 7 a.m. that same day. What do you mean you called them? So if they didn't show up, close it down. Do yourself a favor. Shut the
Right.
doors. They don't.
They didn't
They
even
don't.
call. I bet you they didn't even make that call. They just said that.
Well, yeah, and the inspector probably said, "Cool, they're not here. We still gonna shut your doors." Good for
Mhm.
them.
Right.
Last,
Exactly.
so two other places. There's three other places I need to touch on real quick, and one of them is the El Trurino Fo on
Here we
Charleston
go.
on Charleston. They were shut down on August 10th for multi-generational cockroach infestation. And I'm gonna tell you something about Las Vegas. This is starting to really gross me out because it no
Makes you
matter when they go to do an inspection, a common denominator
nominator is
is
the
roaches.
roaches.
Yeah. So that says something a little bit about the city, but it also says something about people's cleanliness and habits.
Right.
Because if you can't get rid of them, then
Right.
if you don't have a regular pest control that's
Yeah.
coming out, like, come on. How do you have
Right.
generations? That's like son, grandson, grandpa. That's generations
Yeah,
showing up.
that's pretty disgusting.
It's
And
pretty
hanging out and
disgusting.
reproducing. They've been there long enough to reproduce. That's what that tells me. Over and over and over again. That's
Yeah.
what that
Well,
tells me.
who is this? Meek says, "Oh, heck no." So we got Rashi in the house. Thank you for watching, Rose. Taylor is listening. I really appreciate all the listeners. We do appreciate you guys
Yes, we
coming and
do.
checking
Yes,
out
we do.
the show we have going here because we just are enjoying ourselves at the same time giving you some real information that you might, yeah, because Taylor said I'm laughing, but it's really disgusting. It is.
Right. I agree, Taylor.
Um, so they found the roach feces again.
Mm.
Um, and then the inspector saw the live and dead roaches on the wall above the three compartment sink. I mean, they're just everywhere. And
Mm.
it's one thing for people to live amongst that because I get it. Because my first question was going to be, how do you go to work and function amongst that chaos? But people live like that,
Yeah, they
and
do.
therefore,
Absolutely.
because you can't tell me if I'm bringing a purse to work and it's multi generational roaches going down, I'm
Right.
taking them home because that's how they
You are
roll.
yep. Yep.
Hmm.
You taking them
Yeah,
home
okay.
too.
So we're gonna leave that there. We really had a scare with Wendy's. That was pretty bad because that was
Yes.
national. We're talking about a
Right.
national chain here that had coli in their lettuce. Now, I'm not a
Oh
fan
wow.
of Wendy's. Never been
Right.
since high school. I mean, because you remember we used to walk from Tech up to
Yeah.
uh, up to Wendy's, and
Up to
Wendy's
the
was
hill.
everything.
Yeah, they
You
breakfast
know what I'm
was to
saying?
I was just telling my daughter that yesterday. Wendy's used to have a breakfast, would have me up that hill every morning, skipping first period.
So for all my Oakland listeners, all our Oakland supporters, you know what we
Right,
talking about. So yeah, we had a
right.
Wendy's that, and you had to have a little extra money to do Wendy's. You could do
Yes, you did.
McDonald's all day, but you needed a little bit.
Right.
Your pockets needed to be a little thicker. Well, Wendy's is they had an E. coli outbreak with romaine lettuce. It sickened 37
Mm.
people and hospitalized 10 people, and likely higher
Ooh.
because E. coli fades after 5 to 7 days. It's diarrhea, so people don't feel the urgency to go to the hospital unless they're dehydrated or severely cramping.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, it was a lot of people, and it seemed to cover areas like where I am. So I'm up here in Ohio. It was Ohio and Pennsylvania that were directly affected, and they
Okay.
claim that it should not affect the grocery stores, it shouldn't affect other restaurants, that it was exclusive to
Mm.
Wendy's. I don't know how, but I'm cool.
Yeah, that's weird. That it would be
I like
exclusive to
mixed
Wendy's.
yeah, I like mixed greens. Give me mixed greens. You know what I'm saying? Give me some give me that's what I'm on. Give me a little arugula, what you call it?
Arugula.
Arugula.
Yeah, I can't stand you.
Give
Arugula.
give me mixed greens. And that's with the spinach and it's got, I'm cool on
Right.
romaine now.
But
Because
E. coli seems to attack the green veggies, though. That's the most, I always hear about it attacking the green veggies. Either romaine
yeah,
lettuce, I've heard it with spinach before too.
I
Recall for
had
spinach for
that's
that
right.
as
So
well.
here's my question. E. coli. Let me read this to my listeners so you guys understand
What it
what
is.
Escherichia shishia, that's why we call it E. coli, because nobody wants to say it. By the time you say it, you dead. You like, I got E, E. Yeah. So the bacteria is in the environment. It's in
Okay.
foods and it's in the intestines of people and animals.
Mm,
Most strains are harmless. Others make you sick. They give you diarrhea. They can give you UTIs. They can give you respiratory issues and pneumonia. And how is my question,
wow.
right? Because hand
Right.
washing is how we're taught in school and in the industry. Hand washing and washing your
Mhm.
fruits and veggies, even your
Right.
vinegars and things like that. So
Right.
my concern is how are they transporting our fruits and veggies? Are they with livestock? Are we saving gas, time, and energy by
Ye
putting these things together on these delivery trucks?
It very
Or
well
you
could be.
or somebody going to
Mm.
the bathroom, have a number two, they don't wash their hands, they come out and touch your foods because you guys, you need to understand it's directly related to feces of an
Mm.
animal or a person.
I
So
almost think it's the first thing you mentioned about how they're transporting the produce. Because you see those trucks on Highway 5 with onions and
headed to
tomatoes
LA.
and garlic and
Mhm.
all that stuff. You see them big old trucks and it just be blowing in the wind half the damn time. So,
Right.
and uncovered. So I don't know. Very interesting.
Interesting. Because our tomatoes are definitely, I've seen, I mean, my old pastor was a tomato deliverer, and you just stick them in the truck and they ride to
Mm,
LA. There was no
mm-mm-mm.
cover, they're exposed to the sun and all the elements.
Yes, they are.
So, with that being said, Wendy's, watch yourself, okay? Because
Yeah, Wendy's, you're doing too much.
yeah, I'm already on a non-fast food deal, so Wendy's does not have to worry
Oh,
about me. But you
good.
guys be careful out there when you're eating this fast food, especially at
Yeah.
Wendy's when they're having outbreaks, because it might be limited to the areas that I'm in, the Midwest, but that's not to say that other places did not get it. And people don't know when you eat foods immediately thereafter, it's going to tell you what's happening. My
Yep.
body does, and
My
sometimes
body does
we
too.
chalk it up to the fact it's fast food. Yeah, your body could have rejected the fact that it's fast food, especially if you've been eating clean like I have. But that's not normal. You should
Right.
not be cramping and then immediately, and then you now have diarrhea, and things like fevers and hot flashes and stuff like that.
Right.
So
Right.
that's a sign of E. coli. And
Ooh.
then last but not least, we had Miss Tabloid on our show last week. God bless her. We had
Yes, we
a
did.
blast.
Yes, we did.
Um, And I'll be doggone if she didn't leave here and go to El Polo Loco, or where she go? She went to Pollo Loco on East Tropicana and sent me
Oh,
a
wow.
picture of a cap that was inside her sour cream or inside her food that she thought was sour cream, but it was actually the top to the sour cream.
Oh,
Those are foreign bodies.
nasty.
Those are foreign bodies. Those are foreign bodies. And quite frankly, if that kind of stuff I don't let go, and the reason why I don't, I'm calling the health department because I want to know how did it wind up in the food and after when you're serving it to me.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm wondering, like, these fast food places, it's a hit and miss. It's actually eating out is becoming challenge, but
They're
then it's
risky.
expensive to eat home at home too. But shoot, I'd rather pay the price to eat at home and know what I'm doing and know what I'm
It's
getting,
risky. It's
you
risky to go
know?
eat now.
It is
And
risky.
the thing is, you need to be observant now. You can't just
Right.
want to drive through the
Watch
drive through and then go eat in a dark parking lot. You need to be able to see
right.
your food And quite
Right.
I like to walk in. I like to walk
Mm.
in and see
Okay.
how the food is being prepared versus going to the drive-through all the time.
Okay.
That's the lazy man's route. Meek
Yeah.
said,
I'm
not
kind of lazy.
El Pollo Loco, that's my spot. Just be careful. That's why we're
Right.
here, is to have everybody,
Aware.
it's about awareness. Let's get it together. Anybody want to call in? 702
Mm.
551 5261. You can talk with us. I'd really like you to share and I'd like you to subscribe and listen. Okay.
Right. Like and
So,
share, subscribe and listen. So, how you doing? How you doing, Missy? Because that was a lot. That's a mouthful. So keep your eyes and ears open when you come see your food, people. But
it is a mouthful. Well, I am here on my retreat,
okay,
so to speak.
okay,
I'm working actively on my book. This
good.
10-year-old, probably now 12-year-old book. Um, this book is now in junior high school, literally. But other than that, I'm eating healthy. I'm trying
Okay,
to center and connect and cleanse. So
okay.
I'm still fasting. Like I fasted all day today. And when I did eat, I ate some raisin bran. That was my first meal. And then I had beef tips with a bunch of onions and bell peppers, all the colored
And
bell
peppers.
peppers.
Okay,
Yeah, on top
nice.
of
That
rice,
sounds
which rice
delicious.
is not supposed to be in there, but that's still a side for me
Yeah.
every now and again.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's how my day has been going. I've been exercising and really hoping that when
Good.
I go back to the doctor, there is a transformation that I can tell everybody that we can do it.
I'm certain
We
your
can do it.
consistency will be reflected. It'll show. As long as you consistent, it'll show.
What? I just seen Tish say something. I know she ain't in the house. Okay, girlfriend. So, anyway, with that,
Oh,
how are
okay.
you?
I'm good. I
We're
am
both remote.
in We both remote, right? I am in California. I've been here for a couple of weeks. I'll be here for a couple of more weeks and visiting the family, enjoying the stay. Been eating out a little bit, just a little bit, because
I'm
that's what we
jelly.
do.
I'm jelly.
I know.
I
I always
am.
love to
I'm
come to
California.
Cali
I
too.
miss Oakland. I miss even that old ratchet Sacramento. I miss it because that's where my peoples are. That's where my family is. I miss my family in
Right.
the Bay Area. But shout out to the Bay Area for supporting us because I know
Yes,
a lot of our listeners are friends and family from the
from the
Bay.
Bay, from the
You
town,
heard? Yeah,
all
that I
over the Bay
mean.
Area and SAC too. We got some folks up here in SAC that be chiming in. Thank you. And overseas every now and again. So, I feel that too.
We feel the love. Good.
So yeah,
Talk
I
about
went
it.
to when I touched down, I took the family. We went out to eat to Q1227. It's a restaurant out here, black owned. I love that place, hands down. It's a high-end black owned restaurant.
Oh, don't talk about
And
high end.
high-end girl, yes. So their
Mm.
food is delicious. I will post it because I posted it on my stories, but I think it disappeared. My mama had a full fish. That's like my favorite. They fry a full whole fish, and I love it. I had the chicken, and Rihanna had the salmon, and we had all kind of sides. So yes, that place and the chef, one of my all-time favorites. He always comes around and asks, "How did you like the food?" The head chef always makes his way around to check in and see how you doing and how you
Mhm.
like the food. He's very, very personable. And to me, that
Mm.
just is top notch. They want to make sure your whole experience is exactly what it should be. So yeah, that was good.
Mm. So
Um,
Taylor said, she said, I love a whole fish too. And oh, my
yes,
cousin's in the house. Hey, Charlene, thanks for joining us. She said, yes, from the Bay.
yes,
And Meek
yes.
said, yeah, the quality of food has gone down since COVID. I know. That's why we cooking at
Yeah.
home. And when
Trying.
we trying to do the fine dining. I really like this place. I heard about it. Family told me about it. Black owned.
Good.
I'm really proud. out to them. Keep up the good work.
Absolutely. I would
Um,
suggest that when you do get this way, you make it a point to get in there at least once. You got to
okay.
experience
What's
at
it?
least once because you can see the
Say the
black
name again.
chefs cooking your food. Um, it is Q11. I said 7, I believe, and I believe it is. Yep, Q1227. Q, the letter Q 1227. It is in Roseville, California.
What's the significance of that? Because that's a lot to remember. Let's just go to cues. Like, stop.
You ask,
Maybe you,
I
maybe you
didn't
add.
dig, I didn't
We'll
dive
ask.
that deep.
We'll ask the head chef when I get there. Yeah, I'll definitely.
Yeah,
I
that's a
want to.
good
I want to
question.
know.
I'm certain. Yes,
And so we're gonna
that's a
say
good
let's go to
question to
cues.
ask.
I got to shorten it for the LGIT listeners. We got to shorten that. So what else got going on
Q.
out there in Cali?
I went to Foodie Land. It's called Foodie Land. It's like a food truck
Q
festival.
is the chef. I'ma know.
What you
Q
say?
is Q is the chef.
Okay, so he's the one that walks around and makes sure that all is well.
So it's fair to say let's go to Q. It's fair to
Q
say.
is the chef. Thank
Okay.
you, Mama. Thank you, Mama, because she was there. She the one that got that big old beautiful fish, and it was delicious.
Oh yeah.
Um,
When they please our mamas, we please. I don't care what
I
my food look like. I
know,
just don't
and my
need my
mama was
mama.
pleased.
Good
You
stuff.
know, because
So you
our
went to foodie?
mamas,
Yeah,
yeah,
they
they will
hard to
turn up
please.
their noses some stuff
Yeah,
in a heartbeat.
they'll turn up the
You
restaurant
think you
over
doing
some
something
stuff.
great, they'll be like, "Oh, it's all right," with
Our
their
mamas will
stuff,
turn over tables and demand respect.
right?
So
They
that's
sure
always a
will.
plus. So
They
you went to
absolutely
Foodie
will.
Land
Yes, I went to
and
Foodie
then
Land, and that's like a food truck festival. It's at Cal Expo. They had it this weekend, and they're actually going to have it again Labor Day weekend. I don't know.
mm,
They're doing it back
mm,
to back.
okay.
She came home and tried to make it. My mama said she came home and tried to duplicate the recipes. She
That's
do
how we
that
get our
every time she
recipes
goes
though.
somewhere.
Good
Right.
for her. So how did you end your weekend?
Um, and then from there, me and my daughter took a trip out to Benicia, and the Benicia is just a little town, and
Yes,
down
ma'am.
by the bay, close
Yes,
to Vallejo, right
that's
on the
right.
water. And we spent the day sitting by the water on the pier, just chopping it up, watching the seagulls go by, doing a little meditation and
Hmm.
digging into our soul. That water, just sitting by the water was so therapeutic all in itself, to hear the waves crashing, and it just opened us up and allowed us to have a very decent conversation and connect with ourselves and each
Hmm.
other again, because my baby be going through it, and
Mm.
mama got to come to the rescue every now and again and, you know,
Mhm,
reel it in.
mhm,
So doing it by the water is the best place to do it. The negative ions impact us in a very positive way. The water itself.
yeah. We're gonna really let me touch on that water thing. That's
Please,
significant for me as
because
well.
it is.
Because every time I get away or if I'm taking a vacation, I'm looking for mountains and water.
Mountains and
Where
water.
is the local water front, and where can I find mountains?
Mountains
That
and water.
impacts how I vacate,
Right.
how I go on vacation. And so
Mm.
here I am along the lake in Ohio, where when I open up the window, I can hear. Let me tell you something. Ohio got it together when it comes to understanding the connection of water and
Mm.
serenity. Because
Mm.
everywhere you go, there is a man made lake or
Mm.
body of water that
Okay.
that surrounds the housing division or the apartment
Okay.
complex. There'll be two or three of them,
Okay.
so that at any given point in this particular place, you can hear a waterfall. It is
Oh,
quite
that's so beautiful.
amazing for the
That is
soul.
beautiful. It
And
is.
what's happening is I can feel the transformation happening within
Okay.
myself,
Okay.
because I'm looking for it.
Good.
And so what
Absolutely.
I have come up with was
Mm.
the so water to me equals peace.
Mm.
And
Okay.
while I'm looking at water, the video, Beyonce's video came up. She did a
Okay.
video, and I saw it on the website on this site called This Is Africa. And so her song is called Love Drought, and it's in memory of the Igbo landing. And I'm like, oh, let me dig deeper. So I dig a little deeper. So the Igbo
Okay.
tribe, or I guess that's what you call them, they were being taken for slaves. So on the slave
Mm.
ship, they took over the slave ship
Mhm.
and said, rather than go into slavery, we're going to drown ourselves.
Mm.
And on the way down, as they drowned themselves,
That's
they were
right.
singing a song that basically translated to the water spirit brought us, the water spirit will take us home.
Mm. Mm.
The water
Wow, that's
spirit
deep.
brought us, the water spirit will take us home. Song they chanted as they drowned themselves. So Beyonce's video is dedicated to that. So I respect and appreciate that.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
and so couple of phrases came up. I looked for
That
Plato
is deep.
basically said the sea curses all ailments of man or cures. Sorry, let me start over.
Cures.
The sea cures all ailments of man. Water
Mm.
calms a restless mind. Because what it
Mm.
does is it activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which slows
Mm.
down brain activity and promotes relaxation.
Mm. That makes sense. It absolutely makes sense. Cause
It
I
promotes
also
wellness. Go ahead.
okay, it makes sense because I looked up because it says mountains. I Googled mountains, waterfalls, and beaches. They have negative ions. They release negative ions
Mhm.
into the atmosphere. And so, and what those negative ions do, they are believed to produce biochemical reactions that increase levels of the mood chemical serotonin, helping to alleviate depression, relieve stress, and boost our daytime energy. So it makes sense. All that makes sense how it
Yes.
ties hand in hand.
Mhm.
And that's probably why any waterfront property that you're trying to get is going to cost you an arm and a leg.
That's
You're
why
not
I'm
staying
sitting.
on the waterfront for free,
That's why I'm
for
sitting
no,
pretty out here, right here, because I want to be in line
right?
for some waterfront property. I really, really do.
Yes,
But
it's
and at the
worth it.
same time, when we talk about getting it together on this show, which you guys please like, share, subscribe, call in, talk to us 702-515-261, because people need to understand the significance of the mind, body, and soul, and that for anything that we're trying to achieve, we have to get things in line. Call it
Right,
alignment, call it what you want, but you really have to make
right,
sure that you can balance out hecticness of life, calm
right.
down your mind, that racing thing. And I'm telling you, bath. I
Man.
knew water was my connection because I usually, if I
Mm,
was depressed, I'll run some bath water as hot as
mm.
I can stand it with some bubbles and some Epsom salt, and I will soak, put me some candles, and that is my healing area. So no matter where I move, you better
Absolutely.
have a nice tub. My the kitchen and the tub is my life. That's what I
That
need in
makes
my life.
sense. That makes sense. And you've been doing that as far back as I can remember. You was always adamant that it had to be a nice tub when you was in the house, when you was getting one of your homes.
I need a nice tub. So here's the ultimate that I got out of this was that it increases blood flow to the brain and to the heart. Now imagine the sound of white noise, because that's what it is. The
Right,
sound of white noise actually activating chemical response in your body that
right.
is promoting blood flow, healthy heart,
Mhm.
and overall wellness. So when people say I've got anxiety, run some bath water. Go to a
Mhm.
spa. Take a
Mhm.
couple $100 and go to a spa and be cared for, massages, things of that nature. But get your waterfall next to your bed. Amazon
Right.
all day long. That's a plug.
Yes, that's a good
Um,
remedy.
So here's the key about this water thing that really tripped me out too was it's a critical resource. It's a life
Right.
force that without
Right.
it we would die. So
Mm-hmm.
not just the water internally that we need to drink, because I'm on this whole fast cleansing, drinking eight ounces, as many as I can get bottles of water. My tolerance is higher for water now, the water intake. But then to know that the water is outside of just, I could go down the block and I'm at the lake.
Right.
And
Right.
instantly, nothing else matters. Instantly.
Say that again. You chopped out just for 1 second. Instantly, when you get by the lake, what happens?
Oh, instantly, nothing else matters.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Hmm.
That makes
So
sense.
um, the body needs water to conduct signals. And so poor hydration affects energy levels. Dehydration produces fatigue. So I am one that's gonna stress fasting,
Mm-hmm.
getting near and around and in water,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and discipline for balance, balancing your life out. Meek said
Right.
that's
And
deep.
it's and it's a gentle reminder to everybody of how connected we are to the earth. We are the earth, and the earth, we Mother Earth is Mother Earth for a reason. The water, it takes up the majority of the earth, and we are majority water. What does that tell you?
Listen, it's so funny because I was watching Cat Williams the other day and he was talking about how you know water's from God? Because you can't make it. You
You
know
sure
the
can,
recipe, but you can't make
right?
it. The recipe
You
is
sure
water,
can.
but you can't make it. You know what I'm saying? That really had me tickled because uh it is the truth. So
Why my mama say when she gets to Nevada, she looking forward to a spa at a casino.
come on, mama, with it. I am too. We gonna plan that.
We gonna look for
We're
that
gonna plan
together.
that. Yeah,
Mm-mm-mm.
because so there was a saying that it's like water. When it's turbulent, it's difficult to see. When it's calm, everything becomes clear.
Mm,
And that makes sense because that's how our life
mm.
is. Our life brings
Yes, it is.
turbulence and then there's some clarity. And then there's some turbulence and then there's clarity. It
Yep.
flows like the water in that respect.
Yep.
And so it's during those
Ebbs and
times
flow.
where it's a little turbulent, you kind of have to let go because, like water, there's some things you can't control.
Right.
Some things you can't, that you can't fix it. And so, like water flow, let it flow.
That's
Let
right.
it
I
flow.
agree wholeheartedly. So
Yeah,
I'm right
well,
there with you.
that sounds pretty good. What that you and baby girl got a chance to go and experience that, and that's what I recommend when you're looking to go on vacation. Make sure you look for spots, especially when you're going to islands. That's going to be automatic. Um, look for places where there is mountainous and where there is bodies of water that you can actually
Yep.
go get in, or that you can the waterfalls that you can actually spend some time. It will restore your life. I'm telling you, I'm going through a transformation, and I don't know what kind of goddess is coming out,
Mm,
but
mm.
it's a beautiful thing, and I'm rolling with
Right.
it. I'm
I'm right
rolling
there
with it.
with you. Me, I have a couple of vacations planned coming up. Me and my daughter will be going to Mount Shasta and I heard that's a very spiritual place as well in California. And I can't believe I lived here all the years that I did and have
And
never
have not
visited Mount
experienced.
Shasta.
Wow.
So you talking about ions flying everywhere. Once I get to Mount Shasta, you got the mountains and you got the water and the rivers. I'm so excited about that. That's in 2 weeks, and then from there I'm
Okay.
going to Mexico to sit on a beach. So I'm gonna have some updates for y'all about me and my transformation sitting next to some bodies of water.
You gonna have some daughter?
Say
Nothing.
that again.
Nothing.
What'd
Don't
you say?
listen. Nothing.
Oh, you glad your phone cut out?
I said you gonna have some bodies at the water.
No comment.
Okay, she pleads the fifth. So, I want to start preparing. I'm not going to try to usher out the Virgo season too fast, but Libra season is coming right behind it. I have a
Here you
birthday
go.
in September, and I use my shenanigans pretty early. And so, the month of September, I'm really excited about. I want the listeners to be just as excited about it as we are. We're going to have
Mhm.
special guests in the house, and we're going to be
Woo.
talking about relationships and dating from a woman and male perspective. And so,
Nice.
oh, Ken has joined us. He said, "You will love it in
Yep.
Shasta. My parents took us camping there as kids. Yeah, we went camping as kids as well. We sure
Okay.
did.
Okay.
So I'm excited about what September's bringing. We're going to start the show off. We're going to talk about dating, and we're going to have man's perspective and dating from a female's perspective, which will be ours.
Right.
And we're going to move from dating into a relationship and what to look for, and different
Woo.
signs and symptoms and pulse checks and realities. We're going to talk
Right.
about we're going to move from that into the relationship, and then talk a little bit about the dynamics of that. And it's going to be exciting. I'm really
Yeah,
excited about what September's doing.
I'm super excited about it because that's all a part of getting our stuff together. Getting it together is making sure our relationships are in alignment as well. And we need to
Yes,
talk about some stuff. There's some stuff
and we
that
need to
needs
talk
to
about some
be
stuff.
discussed. And I'm
I
excited.
agree. I
And
agree.
to get a male's perspective, so to balance out some of this estrogen in the room, I'm with it.
I'll take it too. I will take it. Now, let me just say, while I'm up here, I made some homemade edibles, hence my
Say that
tight
again.
eyes.
Say that. You made some homemade edibles.
I did.
Okay, go
I
on,
did. I
girl.
made that chocolate cake that I specialize in.
Oh Lord,
It
that
turned out really
comatose cake,
well.
that comatose
I made you
cake.
some cake with some
I don't
cannabinoids.
think I woke up for 48 hours. I think I was out for 48 hours. And
She ain't telling the truth.
if I did wake up, I was in such a comatose state. All I wanted to do was go back to
Wait,
sleep.
where is Rossi? Because I think he can attest. Where is he? Is he still with
I
us? Call in
I
702
know Taylor, like, make sure you
555
bring some of that on home.
Bring some of that home. Turned out really well. Uh, I have to
Got my
learn
mama
what my
cracking up.
I have to learn what my dosages are, because
Yeah, she ain't got that right.
because I
Everything
want
is
to be able
heavy.
I want to put a disclosure on it if I give it to somebody
Yeah.
else.
That you
But
might be
I think
asleep for 24 to 48 hours. That's what the disclosure should be.
but you're gonna be rested. You're gonna be fully rested. Don't play. You are gonna be fully rested. So there is a beer festival out here in Ohio. I'll be going to that. It's gonna
Okay.
be food, and for all my vegans, there's a food event this weekend. Let me see. It is the food truck mania. Now you guys have already given you disclosures on how these food trucks run. So just because they're at a festival does not mean they are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Be selective in the food choices you make. But there's a food truck mania. It's in Henderson in the Booze District. It's this weekend, August 27th from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. There'll be multiple food trucks. It's like 8 food trucks and 6 breweries and I guess these cider makers. They call it mead.
Okay.
So that's August
Mead.
27th, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. if you're looking for something to do. For the foodies that like the food trucks, there will be quite a few of them. I'm also going to be preparing food the month of September for the radio station. So for
Okay.
maybe some of our cohorts, and I may give a little heads up, but I'm going to be preparing some dishes uh, for all of us during the month of September. I'm just going to pull out all the stops.
All right. I'm coming to your show every day hungry. Did you see what Ken said? I'm so dead. Got my mama cracking up. Kim was
It
like,
was
"What
your
you do
life
your whole
when you
life?"
eat the cake.
Okay, let's see how things end
Okay.
up. Now that
All right.
would be
You really need
an
to stop.
interesting turn of events.
Mm. So
Look,
here's the pay,
oh my
guys.
God, don't she not? Don't do that. We only got 15 minutes. She gonna be knocked out. We need
No,
to
I'm not.
recap, girl. Calm down.
This is the cake.
You ain't gonna remember nothing we talked about.
I don't remember much. Ken, you know you can't push me like that. No, anyway,
Well, I hear you, me. I would be apprehensive about eating out. Food trucks, especially. I appreciate that
yeah.
because that's true. It is.
But you know,
We
we
just
used
here
to
to.
call them roach coaches back in the day. They were
Yeah, we
roach
did.
coaches. I don't know where we got the name from, but it makes it sound like at some point
Right? They were
we ran on some
known
roaches. I don't know. But that's what
for
we call them.
carrying
They're the road
roaches.
coach. So just be cautious. Here's my deal. I like to look in. If I can look in, I do stuff like wood fire pizzas. So if you can stick
Mm,
a pizza in the wood fire, it's killing all germs. It's fresh. It's hot. You're looking for
okay.
people that are making stuff that are, they're deep frying it and they're doing it right in front of you. You want to see that there was some compartmental stuff going on. So, they were able to move stuff
Mm-hmm.
around. You can see that maybe it was covered in ice, all of the condiments and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. Key things to look for. I don't discount the food trucks. My concern is that there have been so much going on in the food industry that I just don't think inspectors have been able to keep up. And
I have a
so that's
question. I saw a food truck as of recent. Oh, I forgot to mention I went to another event out here. It was tacos and tequila. It was a tacos and tequila, and it was just like a kickback in downtown Sacramento. They had a taco truck, 916 taco truck, and they were selling margaritas. And they had a vegan truck as well. I forgot to mention that. And I wanted to ask because their form of hand washing was a big bottle of hand sanitizer. Where does that fall on the spectrum of cleanliness in preparing food?
it doesn't. And here's the deal. When I went to culinary school, which was 10 years ago, it's just 10 years, maybe 12 now. Sanitizer wasn't even in the curriculum
Mm,
from my sanitation class. You need a
mm,
sanitation bucket that is equal parts sanitation and water, and that you
okay.
supposed to test it. There are test strips like when you do your chlorine in your pool.
Mm,
That's supposed to be readily available to clean off surfaces. A whole hand washing station has to be on that truck. Has to be on the truck. It's part of even getting your permit and your licensures.
okay. Okay.
So sanitizer
Interesting.
never took the place of hand washing.
Hand
It just
washing.
didn't.
Okay. Okay.
That's for all of us. So
Okay.
hand washing, the sanitizer is a temporary fix. And sometimes I've seen in
Okay.
the industry, and I don't think that it's a violation. I've seen in the industry where they will change gloves, put sanitizer on, put another set of gloves
Yeah, I've
on.
seen that before. Okay. Okay. I've
And I
seen
think
that
that's
before.
acceptable in the industry. Hmm.
Okay. Because I saw him
Yeah.
take a handful of cheese, put it in a bin, naked hand, and then turn around and put some hand sanitizer on. I was like, I don't know if I should be eating this food. I
So
don't
that's
think
what
I
you need
should
to
be
be
eating this
watching.
food.
That's what you need to be watching for. You cannot handle ready to eat food with your bare hands. And that one of these dudes on this thing, I didn't even get to that part. He stuck his hands in somebody's order to pull out some ice in front of the inspector. So let's be clear,
Oh.
these people have behaviors that are going on when the inspector isn't even around, let alone in front of him or her.
Okay.
Stuck
Okay.
his hands in somebody's order to pull the ice out of their beans. And then he's going to put the lid
Mm.
back on it. And now what you've got is everything under that person's fingers and anything he did in between.
Ugh, oh my. Yeah. Terrible.
So, yeah, we
Mm-mm-mm.
really do have to be careful. And for me, being a foodie, this is hard. I got two restrictions. I have a dietary restriction because of medical reasons. So
Right.
I'm really watching what I eat, which is encouraging me to cook at home. And then I have irritations with the food industry right now. the
Right.
carelessness of it.
The
It's almost like
carelessness
they
of
went
it.
so yeah, it's almost like they had to do certain things during COVID because the inspectors were definitely going around because you couldn't have occupancy, you couldn't be open, you had to do things to go. So there was always a element of somebody looking over your shoulder, kind of. And it's
Right,
almost
right.
like as soon as we were freed from house arrest, they started
Mhm.
the madness and just went loose with it because people are more nasty now than they were before this. They just
I
went back to
know what
habits they already had.
I don't understand. I don't even
Yeah.
understand.
So Meek, what I've been doing is I've been prepping. So what I do when I go to the store, I get all of my stuff that I know I need to get through the week, all my fresh stuff, all of my
Mhm.
veggies, my salads, and then my lean meats, my chickens, my fish, my salmons, and then I just create meals as well because I know all those
Okay.
things elements are in my house. The reason why we go outside of our houses, other than for pleasure and enjoying a really good environment and
Right.
experience, is laziness. We don't have all the ingredients at home. We tired. We worked, and it may not just be
Right.
lazy. You're tired. You worked all day. Maybe you
Right.
just don't want to get in
Right.
the kitchen. Maybe you don't have all the ingredients at home, but you just have to be careful in these streets.
Yeah,
Is
you
is
do.
what it boils down to.
I
Yeah,
agree. Just got to be careful and really be cognizant of what you eating, and tell your friends when you out with them. If you've learned something new, talk to your friends about it when y'all out and about, so they understand
mhm.
that this is an issue. It could be an issue. You eating at your own risk a lot of times,
You really
almost
are.
wherever you.
You almost are eating at your own risk unless you're doing fine dining. And fine
Exactly.
dining is Michelin awards on the wall. It's 5 stars, 4.5 stars. Chefs like you that care, that come
Yes.
out, that
That's
really
it.
love feeding people, that care about
Yes.
how people leave, they care about their reputation. And those are the places you want to find because there's a lot of those. So, amongst all the people that are acting bad, let's be clear, there are a lot of restaurants that are on point,
Yes,
and they're
there
on point
are.
because they have the right people in position. They do annual training. You know what I'm saying? They do their part to make sure their patrons are safe because that's what it boils down to. Make
Right.
sure your patrons are safe and that they're eating wholesome food that they paid for. And then throw in some customer service. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a lot
Gotta
of young
change the way.
people that are in these jobs now because to be honest with you, there's only 60% of the job force is working right now.
Say
And
that again.
50
Only
There's
how much?
only
Say that again.
62% of the job force that's working right now. And of those
Ooh.
62%, these are youngsters.
Mm.
These are
Mm.
high school.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
And honey,
Yeah.
that other 15% is looking to retire this year.
Yes, they are.
Where
Yep. It's time to go.
okay.
Kids is running
So
these
that's
little
right.
places. Yeah, especially these fast food places. Mm. Mm. Mm.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
So I
Hmm.
am trying
So
to disconnect, and I'm glad to be a part of that 48%. That 48%
right.
that's not working.
Right. That's right. So with that, I really appreciate, we really appreciate the listeners, the participation.
Yes, we
You guys are
do.
awesome.
Yes,
Um,
please like and share, and
Absolutely. Ken says, I admit I like food trucks. They are very creative with their menus. The best street tacos and Jamaican food I've ever had was, and absolutely, let's give the food trucks that are doing what they're supposed to be doing the kudos they deserve because I have
right.
had some awesome food from food trucks.
Yes, I
Yeah,
have too.
reputation
I have too.
matters.
Yes, it
Reputation
does.
matters. So if you know a good place, tell a good friend because that's the original form of advertising. Let us know. So it was great seeing you from a distance and
Yes,
interacting with our listeners.
yes, yes.
Um, I am not transforming maybe I am
What you mean?
eating the cake. Eat the cake,
Oh
anime.
well,
Eat the
I'm
cake.
jealous. I want some of that cake. I could be asleep for a couple of days and be all right with that.
Well,
I'm
I'll tell you
jelly.
what, I'm gonna start making them. But I need you guys to listen in on September 9th. We're gonna have a relationship conversation, and we will see
All
you
right.
on next Thursday, same time, same place on the hottest station in
Same
the nation.
time.
And there's a lot of
Yes.
other artists and podcasters on this show if you guys download the app. So
Yes,
with that,
ma'am.
we love you.
We love you. Sending peace, love, light, prosperity, and protection to you all. See you next